Good morning, it's Alan Hollander, and this is the morning after for January the 16th, 2014. I'm going to change up the format a little today. I got a letter from a friend. It just arrived, actually. It was posted, the letter was for December 2013, but because my wife and I moved and changed addresses, the mail really hasn't caught up to us, and it only arrived just yesterday, and it really resonated for me, and I thought I would share my sort of inner thoughts with you, but mainly the thoughts are related to the letter. So if I read the letter, it'll pretty much sum up the impact I think this had for me, and I hope it has the same impact for you. I'll just use their first names, if you don't mind, but I'm going to read the letter in its entirety, and that's going to be our program for today. So it starts off with, Dear friends and family. This obviously is a letter that's gone to a whole number of people on my friend Bob's email list, or mail list, let's say. This is a letter, by the way. You remember those? An actual typed letter that came in an envelope. Remember those? So it's exciting always to kind of get a letter, isn't it? Let's get some, dear friends and family, this was dated December 2013. Let's get some of the year's highlights of our lives and those close to us out of the way. Alzheimer's, gallbladder removal, diabetes, hospital infection, slap lawsuit, nail fungus, death of a too young friend, heart stints, false arrest, car totaled, legal fees, underactive thyroid, acid reflux, aching shoulder, aching back, cancer, knee replacement, hip replacement. In other words, the usual stuff of real life, and not to be dwelled upon in a holiday season letter, but also not to be denied either. Some highlights on our list might be on yours too. The health items on the list are not really what our lives have been about this past year, or were they? Are medical events really that important? They happen to everyone, and many are beyond our control. So why obsess and talk about them? Yet we do. Strangely, figuring out what are the real and important parts of our lives is not always obvious. For sorting out events, interpreting and prioritizing them, there is the often quoted glass half full or half empty metaphor that admonishes us to focus on the positive and banish negative interpretations in all circumstances. But why does the glass of water always have to be measured by volume? Is the amount of water in the glass really the most important fact? In any event, that glass is half empty is just as true as it's half full. At this point in our lives, Terry and I have at least learned the concept of seeing the gifts, sometimes hidden, in whatever comes along. But there are other challenges to distinguishing what is real and important. One that we have been speaking about this year is the sense of navigating in a dream world of fake crises, false facts, hyped news stories, insinuated marketing messages, and a constant overarching narrative in which the Dow Jones average is the most important fact of the day. It's up, be happy, buy more and spend. It's down, be very worried, but don't sell, keep buying. This parallel universe even has its own language, in which nothing in life is ever just what it is, but is rather like something as in, I'm like writing like a New Year's letter and you're like reading. Isn't that the way events occur in dreams? This year, Terry has dedicated much of her creative energies to an environmental art installation, the Disappearing Frogs Project, Art Awareness Action. The project is culminating in early 2014. She has enrolled more than 100 artists to contribute original pieces to a month-long event in February that includes a myriad of frog images, a children's puppet show and coloring book, and expert speakers on the catastrophe of hundreds of frog species going extinct due to pollution and destruction of habitat. Meanwhile, I have continued my professional interests in pyramid schemes. The work has now moved to Wall Street, where, for the first time, large hedge funds are taking positions for and against the multi-level marketing schemes, and new pressure is being put on our regulatory agencies to enforce laws against deception and fraud. The Wall Street battle of billionaires has been mostly focused on the MLM scheme, Herbalife, Latino customer groups, the Wall Street battle of billionaires has been mostly focused on the MLM scheme Herbalife. Latino consumer groups have also joined our network of campaigners against the pyramids. Reactions to our art and consumer projects range from indifference to outrage to idle curiosity, all of which are valid and understandable, except for one that is bewildering to us. It is the characterization of the work as bad news. Is the half-full glass perspective now a commandment? It's not like the frogs are like disappearing. They are. Some have cautioned that Terry's pro-frog efforts may be bad for business, and several even saw a political agenda, seeming to infer that the frogs are liberals. For opposing pyramid-selling schemes, I am often accused of being against entrepreneurship and success. This is beyond the half-empty glass to actually pouring the water out. Our messages about frogs and frauds are hard to find in the media and entirely missing at the mall. Showing little prospect of profit, the corporate world largely deems them irrelevant. Requiring more than 140 characters to explain, they are generally absent from the Twitter sphere. So where to find confirmation of the real and the important stuff of our lives? We have been joined by allies, colleagues, and supporters, but ultimately our inquiry has led inward. Frog extinction and pyramid schemes are real and important if we declare them so. The challenge is therefore not to figure out what is important and real. This will be different for each of us and may change over time. Rather, the continuous challenge is to make something real and important. Frogs and pyramids, for us, are pathways, among the many that are available to meaning and service. This year, we have been grateful for our continued good health, notwithstanding some items from the earlier reference list. We are thankful for sons Ron and Mark, for our extended families, for friends around the world, and for the opportunity to reach out another year with this letter. We renew our invitation to come and visit us in Charlotte or at our mountain house in Hot Springs. And we would love to hear from you about what you have made real and important to you. Sincerely, Bob and Terry. And now for the rest of the story with Paul Harvey. Just click on the link below, and bye for today. We'll see you tomorrow.